Heroes of Overwatch, this is Patrick V and welcome to the 6th match of the Overwatch World Cup 2017. Before we're gonna begin, be sure to smash that subscribe and like button guys, and leave a comment below what team you think should win or what team you think will win. Also, I would like to take the opportunity to let you guys know I'm on Spreadshirt right now, and you can support me by buying one of my shirts or merchandise. The link will be in the description below. And right now you can get a 15% discount by using the code welcome-1001-67703. And this is also in the description below. In the background you saw the rules being explained, and right now the 6th matchup is Hong Kong versus Romania. And here we go.
Get ready to witness Overwatch history in the making.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy and Desk. We are back for the last two maps here in our second set of the day. Currently tying up 1-1 Hong Kong. Very dominant performance, as they said there on Lijiang Tower, getting that 2-0, 100% to 0 on both rounds.
Yeah, and I really agree with what Flame is saying about Romania swapping rank onto several different heroes, mainly the D.Va and the Genji swapping back and forth, forcing ML7 onto the Soldier earlier, pushing him into a less comfortable role. This is something I think they need to tighten up, so if Volskaya is going to be the comfort pick that allows them to play the heroes they're more used to, then maybe that's the go-to here, but we haven't really seen it yet, so I'm leaning towards we might end up going towards Horizon, but I feel like the key for Romania really is just not knowing what heroes to run against what's strong on the side of Hong Kong, especially not running the D.Va against Mango, who is really basically the major damage dealer for Hong Kong, especially on Lijiang, that last point. They dove in onto the bridge, he was there, no defense matrix. We are going to Horizon. The thing about Horizon is that Volskaya, there's a lot of different comps that have evolved throughout that map, so Sombra became popular, right? Then attack Sombra became popular, then the counters to Sombra running up to the right side, going on the high ground. A lot of complex strategies there. When you're playing against a team you don't have that much experience against, it might get a little bit weird, but everyone's trying to learn Horizon right now. No one's a master of it, so perhaps on this map, because it's so basic and there's not a whole lot of extra next level strategies being played just yet, we're seeing the evolution of the attack Widow, sure, Reaper coming out on this map, but maybe you want to bring it back to something that's very basic on some sort of level. Maybe that's why so many of the losing teams are picking this map. Plus also the surprise factor, but that's where we're headed here. Yet again, Achilles, you and I are going to be Horizon Masters after this group stage.
Yeah, no kidding. We're just going for the same maps every single time you and I cast. So here we go yet again. But yeah, I mean, to touch on what you were saying before with Romania kind of swapping things around, I mean, it's reminiscent of Hong Kong from yesterday, where they lacked a clear identity up until that fourth and final game. Weren't sure, who needed to play what. That's what they need to establish. Hong Kong kind of has that going for them, especially after those rounds on Lijiang Tower. And, well, Mix is just trying to blow up the Earth on the other screen, just sending some rockets out into space to blow them up. But for now, we're just looking at these nice plants.
Yeah, I guess it helps keep the oxygen flowing inside this space center here.
I suppose. I'm still curious as to how people survive when they leave the airlock and they go fight outside and the near zero G.
With games and esports, sometimes you don't ask the real questions. Sometimes they're starting the answers.
I suppose there's stranger things going on in this game than being able to breathe in space without a suit. But for now, we will have the attack coming through from Hong Kong. Going to be starting things off here on the assault, wrapping their way around the right side on the low ground.
So no shock, we're going to have Mue on the Sombra here, a staple for this map. And it's going to be Mango on the Reaper. And luckily for Romania, I think this is the right choice to put rank back onto the D.Va and try to shut Mango down. Not going to be necessarily as effective against the Reaper, but we'll give a lot more space to work with for Kukubao, specifically, when he wants to dive in.
I mean, he can chew up a lot of that damage with the defense matrix when that Death Blossom does come through inevitably. So, still has that, a nice function here for the squad. You can see rank poking forward, just trying to deny as the rest of Romania starts dropping in, but already that first tick about to be obtained here from Hong Kong. Do have it coming through, get that credit. Emka wrapping around the backside, looking for an angle. Can't quite find much here. Now firing away straight down the line, but there's a D.Va blocking him out. He's gonna get booped, runs in onto the point, but he's just surrounded by all the members of Hong Kong, so he'll go down. That's the team kill here, and a very swift cap will be coming through, much like we saw from Norway in their set earlier versus China.
Jazzy with the Discord Orbs again. Mango does so much damage, and every single soldier first-person view you've seen from MK and Mango, the difference is massive. MK shuts down immediately because the tanks were blown up by the Reaper there in that narrow choke point because of the Discord orbs, and then suddenly there's no protection for MK because his frontliners, his tanks are already gone.
Well, EMP gets dropped in, and Mango wraps on the backside and trying to build up for that Death Blossom. Almost has it, but at the same time, doesn't really need it at the moment. They go ahead and contain all of Romania back towards that spawn. Attack Visor will be coming through here from MK, but Mix goes forward, has that defense matrix ready to go. He's not really going to be getting anything forward. A couple kills have come out, but not really by the way of MK. Does find Jazzy right at the end there. The HongKong stopped off, but not really by use of that attack visor, so maybe didn't have to invest that one, but either way, a nice hold coming through here for the side of Romania.
It was really the only one they used, so they still have an ult lead right now, but HongKong has a massive push, and they have 6 minutes, so I think they're going to dump basically everything into this. Mue did switch over to the Genji, but they could try to make something happen with this Death Blossom, with the self-destruct. That could be one way to get in and find that angle. But they don't have anything but the sound barrier to protect the Reaper. They're not going to have Transcendence, so we'll see if they want to commit all 6. They have time if they want to do that.
Oh, a Pulse Bomb coming through from Kukobound does force out that primal range from Hyper as he tries desperately to stay alive, but still getting chipped away at, will fall off screen. Mango forward, has that sound barrier thrown down on top of him, but still has not gone through with the Death Blossom. Will throw it out now, but the defense matrix is there, and he's going to be targeted out. Makes it into the Wraith form, but has to just kite back with the rest of his team as they do get chunked out. They lose several members, and HongKong, you know, we were praising them before for their ultimate usage, especially on the side of King's Row, spacing things out, not dumping them all in at the same time. They do the polar opposite here on point B.
And you would have thought maybe they might have switched after dumping a lot into this last push, but this allowed, I guess you could kind of call it an eco push. They didn't use everything because this allows Jazzy now to have the Transcendence for perhaps Mue to pair with the Dragon Blade. He was nowhere near the Dragon Blade for the last push, and they want to bait a lot of ultimates out with this next one here to see if they can be efficient. Already the Mue is down before he can even pop that Dragon Blade.
Yeah, nice little pick off there coming through from Kukobound, just wrapping his way in there, and Jazzy's going to go down as well. So HongKong yet again going to get stomped out. But I mean, these are the eco pushes coming through from them. They need Hyper to build up for yet another primal range. They need Mango to get that Death Blossom available. Pandora naturally will be having that sound barrier coming through.
My biggest concern is that they are not running the Zenyatta, so the Dragon Blade can do a lot here when the sound barrier is not available. If HongKong is able to identify there's no sound barrier for Sima, the Dragon Blade is going to be so effective in those cases. Sure, the self-destruct can be useful, but Genji has so much mobility to avoid that, come back in and slash, even perhaps kill Pilot Diva, so that's a huge opportunity here. They're going to have both support ultimates from Mue this time, and that's the scary factor for this push. 4 minutes on the clock. And all eyes on the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, still don't want to wait for that Death Blossom to come through. So yeah, Mango does go over to that Tracer, and he's just going to go down right off the bat. Kukobound coming up with yet another kill. Now has that Pulse Bomb ready to go. Tries to throw it out, tries to get the stick in onto Mix. Doesn't find it, doesn't find a kill, but the rest of the side of HongKong are still suffering losses. Self-destruct will find Pandora, and Mue has fallen, and seems like HongKong yet again going to be staved off. Can't get that first tick here on point B, and the clock is just draining very steadily. Already 3 minutes have been burned.
Now, surprising, Mango switches to the Tracer instead of the Sombra, but obviously they are on attack, so don't get as much value from the health packs. It takes longer to build up the EMP, but I feel like Romania is doing a great job of targeting down Mue every time. We haven't seen that Dragon Blade come out. Here it is now, though, with the sound barrier. Transcendence is available.
Yeah, it's there to mitigate, and Meza now going to be the recipient of this nano boost, just zapping away, but the Primal Rage is there from the side of Hyper, just trying to keep him contained into the corner. Will leap his way up. The Transcendence comes down from Jazzy as they try to posture in. Self-destruct will be thrown out by Mix, looking for a pick, but the barriers there to go ahead and eat up all of that damage coming through. And for now, it's just going to be an all-out brawl here onto the point, but still going to be trading back on both sides. Discord Orb in onto the Sima, but he manages to stay alive. Mango can't quite come up with the kill, but there we go. Mue able to pick up the pieces, and that's 2 ticks coming down now for HongKong. Looking for the final cap. Meza pushing his way back through, has to contest this, leaps and dies immediately. They almost have it. Just 2% about ready to go. MK using the attack visor will get left on, immediately goes down. And it seems like HongKong in this war of attrition should be coming out on top. Pulse Bomb finds the stick. ML7 will go down, and that will be it. The dash off the point, the last second from Kukobound can't stay in there, and they will suffer that loss.
So the big difference there is the supports. So you have Ana, and when you talk about what the double support ultimates were able to grant there for the Dragon Blade, it feels like it was way more effective than what we saw when the nano boost came out for the Winston. Didn't buy as much time, and when there's a sound barrier down, gives the more protection there for Jazzy to actually consistently drop down the Discord Orb. So when the Primal Rage Nano Boost was there, Winston was still able to be focused down. The Dragon Blade picked off immediately MK, so no big DPS coming out, and it was longer sustain coming out from the ultimates, from having the Transcendence over the Nano Boost that allowed them to win out the longer fight there. and they were patient. They waited finally for the synergy with those double support ultimates. Muwei with the switch onto the Genji, and he made it happen. Or sorry, not Muwei there, but Mango made it happen. And I feel like Romania, I feel like there wasn't much mistakes made there, and it wasn't like Hong Kong got a big bait, but the choice of supports and how they made sure not to stack the Transcendence on top of the Sound Barrier they kind of desynced them there to make sure they had the longest support ultimate possible, was how they won the longer sustained fight there. Romania just ran out of steam, the nano boost wasn't enough.
Well, 2:30 remaining there for Hong Kong at the end of that point B cap, so still having a nice little time bank there for themselves. Not quite as crazy as the ones we saw from our first set of the day, but still pretty darn good, you'd have to say. Romania now going to be moving over onto that attack. Need to have a very swift first pick on A if they want to go ahead and try to match that, if not exceed the time bank that Hong Kong has established for themselves, because it's a pretty darn good one.
So will be no Sombra, at least it looks like, for Hong Kong.
Please do the Junkrat.
Please, maybe. I doubt it. I hope so.
Nope. Okay. Well, ML7 will be moving over onto the Reaper. So this is going to be the triple DPS yet again coming through. Double tank, Meza, and Rank on the Winston and the D.Va, but it's going to be solo heals for Sima.
And Jazzy is going to be on the Ana, so more sustain coming out, but not the Transcendences, not the Discord Orbs that we've been seeing him with so much success on and defending these points.
Well, they're going to go ahead and push forward. Mango here to greet them. Just firing away into the tanking ranks of Romania, trying to chunk them out as best as possible. They're going to be going out through the airlock into space as they try to exit safely, but Sima will get caught up in the crossfire, does go down. Exchange of the Lucios so far. And now Meza in a bad spot as well will go ahead and get cut down as Muwei goes forward with the dash. Bit of an exchange going back and forth here. Have a bit of a back cap happening, but the first tick still not really gained here for Romania. So that push will be halted and they're going to have to reset.
Yeah. Looks like still want to run this triple DPS. Unfortunately, just not finding much success there, especially in the choke point. Mango having the lead in ultimate as they kind of got pushed out into space. They had to contest it there. Unfortunately, there's just no way to fight out in space.
I mean, I feel like this might be fine if Sima was playing a different healer such as Zenyatta and the Ana, so you have a bit of range. Instead, he has to stick with the squad. And, you know, so many of these people want to dive. They want to go into the back line, and they're unable to do so if they want heals. For now, flank coming through here from Mango around this side. Does take out Meza. A bit of a Reaper battle. Will make it into the Wraith form. Has a Lucio there to heal him up as well as that health pack. So will stay alive. But Muwei gets rid of MK. So still, this Romania struggling to get in onto the point. Already 2 minutes 35 left on the clock. Still suffering losses. And ML7. It's just, as soon as that Wraith forms up, has to go ahead and pop it and get out the safety.
And they almost were able to get in there with the self-destruct and the Death Blossom, which is a huge opportunity to find a bunch of kills, but their time bank is so weak now. You normally see point A captured so early, and once again, we're going to have the double support ultimates here for Hong Kong. They have the support lead. They're about to have Big Six with the Dragon Blade, which is how they took point B in the first place last time. Going to have this defensively. ML7 looking for the sneak attack here. Very risky.
Here, that's going to be the Nano Blade coming through here onto Muwei, dropping down, looking for the Soldier. Helps cut him out, finds ML7 as well. Couldn't use a Death Blossom, couldn't use Attack Visor. Muwei coming up big here for his squad. And Hong Kong will yet again just stomp out Romania. Meza desperately trying to make it back to safety.
Okay, they baited a lot out with this, though.
He does get the kill at the end, but that's about as good as it gets.
They baited a lot out with this. That's one important factor here. Really, the both support ults, the Dragon Blade is gone, but Romania has so much more to work with now. They still have that Death Blossom, so this is absolutely a follow-up push that could work, but if this one fails, they're in deep trouble because they only have 80 seconds left. And that's exactly why we see Mangolai here, or Mangolongzai, ready for the Death Blossom. Coming in all together as 6, going to the choke point again. A dangerous proposition, but they have the ult economy lead.
Could be just a battle of the Death Blossoms perhaps here on point A as they do pile in, looking for the kill in onto Hyper. Does not have that ultimate ready to go. There we go, throws it down. 2 kills going over to ML7, just the one for Mango. Self-destruct thrown out, however, so ML7 has to hightail it off the point, and Muwei is right on top of him, does kill him with the dash through. And Romania have still not gotten a single tick. Meza leaping around with the Primal Rage. Kukubao here to back him up as they desperately try to keep this one in contention, but they're still not building up much of a percentage. And it's 40 seconds remaining, so even if they do get the cap, the time bank would be so severely limited at this point in Hong Kong. It looks like they might just be able to full hold this.
Oh, and MK using this attack visor so far away. What a nice helix there. But luck on the side of Romania. But
I mean, that's like the consolation prize that you get for not getting anything else on the points. But so they only have takeaway.
They only have 22 seconds left, and they have no ults to work with. Dragon Blade available, Nano Blade even, with Jazzy nearly having that. If they buy enough time for Hyper to get that primal raise. They just have all sorts of advantages here on the defense. Romania gonna have to make one desperate last push happen, and they don't have very many tools for it.
I mean, ML7 now over onto that Zenyatta, but it's gonna be a bit too late to try to get that Transcendence into the back line. Comes Mango, finds him with a shotgun blast, and Mue has the Dragon Blade drawn out, cuts down Emka, looking for a little bit more, hits rank in that baby diva form, and now just needs to finish off Meza. The overtime already ticking through. They got the first tick, can't quite get the second, but that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the map. Going over to Hong Kong. Romania said that they were looking for a 3-1 here perhaps, but now the best that they could look for is a 2-2 as there's only one map remaining.
And the big keys there was they went for the solo support. It was Lucio, which gave them more mobility. You could tell they were trying to use the Lucio to go for these big attacks, right? They had the amp it up for the speed boost, what they were using to go into those chokes. But unfortunately, when they went into the chokes, when Mue had the Dragon Blade, that was massive. It's going to be Jazzy, who, yet again, as Zenyatta, will take play of the game here. But before I break this down any further, let's just watch Jazzy's Zenyatta. Gets the kill on the Kukabao here, and rank.
And just firing away. Very nicely done here from Jazzy. I know Doa watching in the back room is going to be very happy with that aggressive play.
Providing a lot of heals too, but
62% kill participation there for Jazzy.
That's pretty insane, and it's because of the discords a lot of the time too. He's just constantly discarding these forward targets, especially Meza. But more supports, more long-term healing, and Amp It Up was used for the engages for Romania, so they didn't even have Amp It Up for the healing. They're using Amp It Up for speed boost to go in, which means even less healing when the Dragon Blade comes out with Nano Boost, and it was Jazzy again, this time on the Ana, who consistently had those Nano Boosts available to pair with the Dragon Blade with that longer sustained healing. It felt like every push that we saw with the triple DPS out of Romania was all in, and they just got shut down on those choke points. They took the same route every time. Hong Kong was just there waiting for them, and the map choice, perhaps the wrong one on the side of the European team now because they just got shut down hard. We very rarely see full holds so far on Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, very strongly played there, so perhaps they should have gone for Volskaya. You'd have to think here for the side of Romania. Might be regretting that one, but now it all comes down to this. So far, just have the 1 point for themselves. Hong Kong kind of on the precipice of going ahead, picking themselves up 4 if they can close this set out 3-1 for themselves. So it's looking rather good for these guys. They have finally found that identity, a bit, scrappy on King's Row, but everything since then has just been domination.
You would think that for map selection now, you'd want to avoid the Route 66. This is where, of course, we saw the...
Is that your bias coming through? Because we've cast nothing but Route 66 so far.
A little bit. I'm a little bit tired of it. I'd like to see something different. But
okay,
we have 100% Route 66, at least for the two of us. But I would like to see them avoid the map that we saw domination from on the defense with the Sombra coming out for Hong Kong. Yeah. Also, there are some asterisks to this. Norway did try to run the attack bastion, and it didn't work out so well. They burned through their time trying to make that happen, didn't quite get the checkpoint. But I would like to see something different, knowing that this is the map that Hong Kong found most success on back in that series against Norway yesterday. But it's still pretty likely that we'll go to Route 66 because at least on our side of the casting, that's where we've been going.
That's just how everything has worked out. But what do you know? It's going to be a bit different. So we will go ahead and break the streak. Dorado will come through, the first different map that we have cast since day 1. But, I mean, Sombra, it's not as common for us, at least coming from Apex, not one of the big ones that we do see here on Dorado, but it certainly can be played.
Yeah, definitely so. Here's one of the two maps in the pool here, so definitely can be played. And in fact, I didn't know where to take that sentence, but it's a smart choice again because I think that how we saw flexibility from Hong Kong dealing with such a unique push coming out from Norway with the attack bastion is it's kind of terrifying to see that flexibility. And when you just look at stats alone, if you're talking to your committee here as Romania, you're probably like, yeah, let's avoid that one. Let's avoid the one map they took against Norway. And I think it might just get to be that basic here. So for Hong Kong, they get to play a different map here now. It's obviously both of these maps have been around for a long time, and yeah, all these teams are very familiar with them. So it's just not like a crazy pick like we were talking about for Horizon. So if you're a newer fan, it's like, aha, they're going to try to trick them here or something like that. This is just a standard map, and they want to throw a curveball and not play on the map that Hong Kong looks most familiar with.
Well, for now, it seems like it's going to be Hong Kong starting things off on the assault as we take a look at the other monitors. So defense here for the Romanian side, and they need to have a very strong one to start things off. Something like a full hold, albeit a very rare especially on Dorado, is something that is possible, given the right composition. But seems like they're going to be running a whole lot of the same coming into this one.
Looks like it. We can already see the compositions. We'll tell you in just a moment as we jump into this one, but I will be able to tell you that it is going to be Rank again on the D.Va. Widow to start things off on attack here, however, for Hong Kong.
Yeah,
going to be Mango.
Kind of screwed up his grapple there onto the top of the building, did clip the side, so still operating on the low ground, which could make him that much more vulnerable, perhaps, to the likes of the Winston, but for now, sniping out, looking for a target. This is that shot in onto Emka. And he already just hugging back around that corner, so just showing respect over to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Will be in onto the Sombra, but he's going to get jumped on. Only builds up about 34% there for the EMP before he gets taken down.
Really good respect from Romania. Not necessarily what we saw earlier out of Norway in that match against China, but the Widowmaker not finding much value so far. He's still sticking with it, though.
Kukubao trying to disrupt here into the backside, build up for that pulse bomb. Gets decently close, but has to peel back as he goes dangerously. Now still being jumped on here by Hyper, chasing forward with that Winston.
Dodging the Widowmaker shots behind the payload there is Kukubao as well, but the push continues. The respect shown to the Widow gives them a lot of space for Hong Kong, so even though they don't get massive kills, it forces Romania back, what makes them play defensively. They lose control of the high ground, and this allows them to push almost all the way up to this checkpoint. They got under the archway.
Yeah, right up through the fountain here so far for Hong Kong, so making some decent time despite the pretty slow start here. Mue still looking for that EMP. Taking him quite a long time comparatively here today. Go ahead and get this one. We'll now finally have it coming through. He's going to throw down immediately as the Transcendence does come down from Jazzy. See that nano boost in onto Meza. Has the Primal Rage available. Can't use it yet. Now can if he, as he leaps in, but still is losing several teammates. Will pop it in the end. After 3 members have gone down to try to buy some time here for his squad. And is relatively untouched, so just keeping that payload in contention so they can't inch it further over towards point A. But now all in his lonesome Primal Rage expired, will fall down. And
yeah,
that might just be the final push.
A little bit careless, actually, to use the Primal Rage there. You can understand they wanted to buy time to build something there, but they didn't have any other ults. They were going to come back with the Transcendence. Wasn't ready. Just gives Hong Kong the checkpoint. And also, during that entire time, Mue was basically just sitting there, shooting the Winston, building up 50% of an EMP. So gave him free EMP charge, gave Mix free self-destruct charge. So just a small mistake here from Meza. Got a bit trigger happy, hoping that Simo would have that Transcendence to follow up to try to stop the checkpoint. But now Hong Kong works with a very nice time bank here.
Yeah, heard me say that it was taking him a while to get those EMPs, so he says, all right, how about this? Backs it back up, 83% so far, ready to go for him, and Ultimate's very much going to be in the hands of Hong Kong as they get ready to push through. Pandering with a very aggressive position up over onto this ledge.
Gets away with it, though.
Yeah, they throw out that self-destruct, however, and Mix is going to be the first one to fall. Now Transcendence coming through here, trying to save Meza's life, but he doesn't get to the low ground in time, so Sima now just going to go ahead and have to kite back off of this one, so invests that massive ultimate here for his team and doesn't really come up with much. And will go down at the end as Mue just chases forward, finds that kill.
And a lot of this comes back to the self-destruct, really disrupting Romania's positioning there, and then suddenly Mango's on a high ground position no one expected because he took that weird little scaffolding across. And Zima was trying to be patient, didn't want to get baited there, but unfortunately because he used his Transcendence so late, couldn't save his teammate as you mentioned. And again, another ult used with very little value. This is a nice biotic grenade here.
Yeah, gonna get a lot of value out of this one. And just go ahead and build up for that nano boost yet again for ML7. But whether or not it's gonna make the difference is gonna be the big question here. But Jazzy goes down. Nice little snipe there from MK with the Helix rockets. So go ahead and finish off that Zenyatta, who had the Transcendence available. And this should put a stop here to the side of Hong Kong's push, especially as Mix gets knocked out of that back.
Yeah, nice hold here because now they have a large ult lead. And this is the hardest point for Hong Kong to push so close to the checkpoint.
Well, it's gonna be the big, brutal shutdown here on that stagger onto Mix. Get that sleep dart in, so the Baby Diva's just in a bad spot. Mango in the meantime pushing around the side, and Sima doesn't kite back into the bank, actually drops down to the low ground. It's just going to get taken out there by that tac visor. So Mango, I mean, there's not going to be that much follow-up by the look of it. His team just now joining as he desperately tries to make it over to that health pack. Will be able to do so, but in the meantime, Emka, he's got the nano visor dropping in, looking for Hyper, kiting around the bubble, but it will be dropped down, and he will fall. So nicely done there for the side of Romania, coming up with several picks. So even though they lose Sima, they're able to go ahead and trade up.
It was very haphazard for Mango to use that there. He thought he had an amazing position. It's very clear that Mango's very familiar with Dorado for Soldier. Saw the supports there, but unfortunately they were so close to the tunnel, they were able to hide there. He used it early, and finally, because Jazzy wasn't anywhere nearby, Meza was able to shut Mango down hard. And again, this is the longest run back for Hong Kong, but they still have a few ultimates available.
I mean, somebody's just pushing the payload right now.
Yeah,
Hyper just inching this one through, and no one is playing up onto this. EMP does come down ranked, desperately wanting that self-destruct. Does not have it here, so now, yeah, Mue just very nicely timed, has the hack coming through as well. That's just back over, up onto the high ground as they try to get this completion coming through. Nice biotic grenade, will keep ML7 alive, but barely so. Self-destruct thrown out, clips Rank in that Baby Diva form as he goes down in HongKong. Still trying to win out on this war, just 0.82 meters left to go to get that completion, and they will be able to do so as Meza leaps away. And he'll just go ahead and die. Hyper coming up with the 3K at the end of that one. So point B gained here for HongKong. Just shy of 3 minutes remaining on that clock to try to finish Dorado.
And you can respect Romania for committing so much to stopping them there because they knew the run back was going to be so severe. But they didn't account for the EMP and the large ults HongKong would have for the next push. And it was so critical they stopped Rank from actually having the self-destruct. That might have bought them enough time to build more ultimates that they have now. They wouldn't have had earlier, or you know, they didn't have earlier because of that really good EMP.
Mana boost thrown out here on Meza as he goes forward, has the Primal Rage ready to go. Almost gets the kill on the Pandaren, but can't quite finish him off. Doesn't chase around the corner. Now will be doing so, going forward onto this Tac Visor to Mango to try to get the kill. He takes a lot of damage and has to get out of there, and Mango stays alive in the end. So not going to be getting anything really for that double ultimate investment, but now it's going to be the self-destruct thrown out here by Rank. Not going to find anything. Gets back into the suit to keep himself alive and in the fight, at least for the moment. But now the hack is thrown down. Transcend is out here from the side of Jazzy as they go forward. And HongKong is just looking to dismantle Romania. The kills starting to spill through. Rank falling as well. 3 members dead. Payload still moving at a very fast pace. Getting ready to round that final corner. Minute 40 remaining here for HongKong. Looks like they might be able to finish Dorado.
Unfortunately for Meza, that commitment to chasing Mango didn't find him anything. It wasn't there for the peel for his teammates that got decimated. The EMP comes down, the hack's coming in, and Rank just can't use these self-destructs when he wants to. And HongKong is doing a great job of shutting down the Diva play, which empowers Mango himself to do that soldier damage.
Hyper died before using the Primal Rage, however, so now has to get back here with the squad. You can see HongKong just gonna go ahead, peel back. Don't want to stay in contention without him. Do find a nice little answering kill right at the end on the Cuckoo Bout. But given the Tracer will be able to rejoin the team rather swiftly. Self-destruct down out here by Mix. Over the top of the point, will not be able to find any kills, but to zone them back. It buys a little bit of time. Sound barriers out from both sides, and Seema's gonna be the Boostio coming through. Just firing away with his left clicks as best as he can in the boops, but will not find any kills. So a big botch coming down, and now Mango with attack visor finds one right off the bat as he knocks Rank out of the back and takes him down, offering up so much damage here for the rest of these kills coming in as Emka does fall, but Meza able to answer one, gets Pandaren, leaps in, finds Mango, and is just single-handedly trying to hold onto this payload for his team.
Now, that's definitely supposed to be for Meza there. What we saw onto Seema did what he could, did a lot of damage, but miraculously still, it's Meza the one who's able to carry this fight. Do that big damage there with the Primal Rage, without the Nano, and mistake for Romania, but they still hold fast here. And now HongKong's gonna have one more opportunity. They don't have the support ultimate yet, but Jazzy can buy time to get that EMP up. Perhaps the self-destruct, the fight goes long enough. Hyper's Primal Rage, he's gonna wanna hold on to that one as long as possible as well. Try to complete this.
It's a very crucial one here. It's already popped out as he leaps down onto that payload to try to keep this one, try to start this one moving forward. Rank's gonna be knocked out of that mech as they drop down onto the low ground, but Mue has been taken out, not gonna be able to build up for that EMP to go ahead, lock everybody out of their ultimates that they might be getting, and see almost a nano visor available for the side of Romania, and that could really turn the fight. But with so many members going down, ML7 almost being taken out, has a bionic grenade to keep himself alive, but nobody can tag the payload right now. There's nobody tanking enough. They're gonna try to zip forward here with the Diva, but they just can't make it. And that will be the full push completed here, barely in time by HongKong.
So a complete push. The map isn't over yet, but HongKong definitely showing dominance here in that last push. The scariest part about that is the things that needed to happen for HongKong really to get completion weren't even required. And Rank, we saw him switching so much on their first 3 maps, between the Genji, between the Diva, and I feel like HongKong was at least initially struggled to deal with him at some points, right? They lost King's Row, but now that he's Diva focused, they are focused on taking his mech out first, and they've been doing such a good job of it. The Sombra hacks to prevent him from using Defense Matrix, knocking him out of the mech, stopping those self-destructs so consistently. Rank, unfortunately, was holding onto it for so long because he just kept getting denied on those. That was really well done. Jazzy had the Transcends, which wasn't even needed there in that last fight. Meza with the heroic hold there without the nano boost still just wasn't enough. And now we're going to see the defense here for HongKong. Mua not going to be running the Sombra, at least it doesn't look like it here initially. Going to be going back to the Genji.
I mean, it's just one of those frustrating moments if you're Romania, because you have to wonder, like, would we have stopped that push if there wasn't a Boostio? Would that have been the one thing that turned the tide of that fight for us, that won us the game. They were able to come out on top of that skirmish, but maybe they would have gotten so much more if it had landed, you know, onto the likes of Meza, who was putting in some serious work on that Winston.
Might have affected their mentality for sure, because even though they held there and they kind of used the same amount of ults they would have needed to do it anyways, it's kind of those frustrating things where you're in comms and you're like, oh my god, you know, Seema just barely got in the way of my line of sight there, and this wasn't supposed to happen. They made the best of it. Seema actually nearly got the kill on the Mango anyways. But the slate is clean now, and Hong Kong was able to complete this in overtime, so Romania absolutely has a decent chance for this. It's not over yet.
Okay, well, ML7 is just going to get taken out. Pandarin with the right click, charge up, just goes ahead, snipes the enemy Zenyatta. Drops down off that high ground, comes through from Hyper, just trying to zap what he can, build up for a Primal Rage very steadily. And
interestingly, no Lucio whatsoever for Hong Kong. Looks like with the comp they're choosing, they want to actually hold this really hard.
I mean, this is going to really allow them to get those long-range kills coming through, you know, onto the likes of Mue, on this Genji, onto the D.Va, onto the Winston, who want to be playing forward. But they have to be careful that they don't leave that back line exposed. They don't leave their supports alone. You can see Jazzy getting left on at the moment, barely staying alive as they go ahead and kite back. Mango throw down that biotic field and try to offer up some healing to keep them up. And he's just going to be able to take out Meza. Rank goes down as well. He swapped over to that Genji. He's been playing on that Genji at the start of this one. And they'll just get cut down and not be gaining too much on that payload yet.
Seema actually goes and gets the kill, and the Mango finishes him off there after he's expelled all of his resources to survive. And the push does continue here, so Hong Kong looking to have maybe perhaps a little bit too far forward of a defense there.
And we'll have to try to get back in onto this one. Made it through that underpass so far. As they start trying to push in, Hyper going low. Will be taken out. The leap forward there from Meza, picking up the kill on the enemy Winston. And you can see ML7 just flipping around, throwing out these Discord orbs very consistently, looking for the right clicks. Will just force out that Transcendence as soon as the Dragon Blade comes down from Mue, denying all of it. They will lose out on their own Genji as rank falls, but Mue not going to be getting a damn thing for that one, and he's just going to get taken out. Meza yet again going forward, finds the kill. Attack visor out from Mango on the backside. There's a defense matrix and several members there to go ahead and take him out, so he won't be finding much.
So they finally found the way to have Genji and D.Va. It's to put rank onto the Genji, put MK onto the D.Va, shutting down Mango there with his perhaps a bit overzealous of a tac visor there.
And you know,
that's not going to be there for the defense. And this is, yeah, I don't mind this either. At least in practice so far, it looks to be doing really well. Rank could play the hero he wants, play that carry, and MK so far looks to be pretty good. They sacrificed the soldier DPS, but this is pretty, so far so good. And shutting down the DPS of Mango.
Well, it was the defense matrix there to go ahead and consume that pulse bomb. Self-destruct thrown out, not going to be finding much of anything, and MLC has been taken out off screen here by Hypers, just jumping around, smacking away with that Primal Rage, trying to keep this payload here contained at the moment. It seems like they will be successful. Romania just going to kite back through that doorway.
Okay, so much ult lead here for Romania, though, with this attack. They already got the checkpoint early. Mango has been shut down really hard by MK so far, only bringing up 50% of that next attack visor, so should have had it by now, but because he was shut down so hard, he's finding very little damage. Romania's playing this safe, only showing themselves when they're confident they can make a play, not allowing Mango to build up free charge. He's still now only at the 60, not doing anything here.
Well, MK using that self-destruct won't really be gaining much for it. Instead, just going to ride up onto that high ground, trying to disrupt and take the attention away from that low ground from Hong Kong. Seems to be working at the moment, but now Mango actually comes up with the kill there onto MK. Dragon Blade thrown out here by Rank, finds one as he takes out Hyper, but the Transcendence is there to answer from Pandarin, denying the rest of that damage from coming through, but now ML7 chasing forward, has the sound barrier as well, so stacking those support ultimates. They stay alive for the moment to get rid of the enemy Zenyatta, and they keep the payload moving, but now Mango with his attack visor expires right at the end, doesn't quite have the damage. The shots to get those kills coming through will just fall, and this is going to be a very swift streets phase coming through for Romania.
Yeah, it's a massive, massive lead going into this final completion on Time Bank. Here comes the Dragon Blade from Mue, but will he be able to find much? Does get the kill here on ML7.
Gets the double kill. MK does go down. Nicely done by him, but needs a lot more than that to stop this push coming through. Goes dangerously low, and he is surrounded by the enemy. Will get taken out, and that will be point B.
It seems like Hong Kong is really struggling to deal with this specific setup. And MK has switched off of the D.Va now, but we're struggling there in that street space against it. Mango not able to find much, and now MK's going to be switching back to the Soldier. They're keeping rank on this Genji. His Dragon Blades have been overall more successful, and Hong Kong is being very wasteful with their ultimates, using them to try to stop these checkpoints when there's nothing to pair with them. Jujutsu Paranoid switching back over to the Lucio since we're dealing with this very narrow area. Not going to be looking for the long-range heals anymore. Mua again also switching to the Tracer, so that's going to be part of the reason why.
Oh, well, Dragon Blade here up onto the high ground. Everybody clumped up right here for rank. Finds the first cut down here as he gets rid of Mango, but Hyper is there to go ahead and pick up the pieces. Answers onto that Genji, and Kukobao has been taken out by Jazzy. Might just be a halt, but as I say that, Meza goes in, has the Primal Rage, gets rid of Pandaren, and Jazzy has fallen as well. So there's going to be no supports available, but Meza still goes forward. He still gets taken out. So seems like Romania, as you say, Hong Kong have been investing way too much in with their ultimates. It seems like Romania does a little bit of the same, and they will get punished for that, but respawns have been coming through. They're moving back over towards this payload. Rank coming back in over on that D.Va as they look to push in for this final.
Yeah, they don't have a Dragon Blade to pair with the double support ultimates they're about to have, unfortunately. Meza as well, not going to have a Primal Rage. The support ultimate's not too useful right now.
No, attack visor coming through here from Mango. Just has to run away because there's a Winston stuck to his tail. And they can see the Transcendence thrown down as well, just to make sure the soldier can't do anything with that ultimate. He's going to go down. Pandaren as well, waiting for those respawns. Hong Kong going to have to go ahead and try to contest this payload. They move back in. Big biotic grenade on to the members of Romania as they try to go ahead and take them out, but Mix is going to get popped out of the mech even with the nano boost thrown onto him, and now it's just do or die time here for the remaining members of Hong Kong with the backdoor against the wall. They at least do have the sound barrier out from Pandaren to try to stay in the fight. Mue picking up a kill onto MK. Siva has gone down as well, but is that going to be enough? 3.61 meters remaining as Kukobao goes ahead, kites back here on the Tracer, desperately trying to get rid of that enemy Lucio, just can't quite find it, but it's going to be Hong Kong who actually are persevering, who are coming in on top of this skirmish. Take out Rank, they take out Meza, and they will be holding right in front of point C, but it's still 2 minutes left on the clock.
Romania used both of their support ultimates to try to force this to happen. They got more than I expected they would with it because they were able to shut down Mango. It feels like finally Romania has figured out how to do that. MK on the D.Va now having the really nice run-ins from Meza there with the support ultimates to shut him down, but they don't have as many tools anymore. The self-destruct can be used as an initiation here. We'll see if they wait for the support ultimates. They only have 2 minutes left, so if they commit everything here, including the self-destruct, could be a mistake. And Mix has also built up enough time to have that self-destruct now with this defense he didn't have earlier, so bought a lot of time. That tac visor for Mango also very much on the horizon here.
All right, well, MK getting picked off, a crucial one here for the side of Hong Kong. Mango also has the tac visor ready to go, finds ML7 off screen. And they have the high ground advantage at the moment, poking back, they're shoving Romania all the way back over towards that point B. Romania has to regroup, get themselves together, but it's just about to be a minute remaining on the clock, and there's rollback here for the payload, wrapping itself around that final corner. So that much more space that has to be made up for here by Romania. Need this completion.
Yeah, just
try to go into those overtime rounds.
Just Mue looking around here, trying to see if he can scout out the angle. Looks like they're going to approach left side here. Huge biotic grenade goes down. Of course, they're going to have to wait until that wears off before they can actually commit in. Could give some extra charge, though, to Sima.
Yeah, building up nearly, has that sound barrier ready to go. ML7 as well with the Transcendence. About to be in a good spot. Tac visor thrown out here by Mango. They're going to go ahead and throw in the nano boost as well. So he's just trying to fire away. Has a nice angle. Almost gets MK, but he cuts back around the corner in time to keep himself alive. But in the meantime, Mue has come up with the kill onto ML7. They pop Rank out of that mech as well. Invested their own sound barrier, and they are just tearing apart Romania. Meza falls, and he has been, the big linchpin here so far for this squad on Dorado for their success. He's very far away from the Primal Rage, now just respawning, and it's 12 seconds remaining. Romania, can they tag in?
Rank is so far away from the point here. He's the one who has self-destruct. 7 seconds away, he could just dive it in. Kukobao is going to have to buy that time. Self-destruct can be used here to try to secure this. And MK gets pulse-bomb from behind. Nicely done.
Doesn't have the stick. He still picks up a kill onto Mango, but it's not going to be enough. He goes down. Now pushing forward, ML7 throwing out that Transcendence as they desperately try to stay on top of this one. Mue poking around from the sidelines, looking for a couple kills where he can find them. Rank going in. Still have the tanky members here on the side of Romania, and Hong Kong are the ones that are suffering losses. Pandaren has gone down. Jazzy taken out by Kukobao with the pulse bomb off screen, and the payload is moving in. They desperately need to get on top of this one. Hyper has that Primal Rage ready to go, gets pooped away, pushes back in, looking to go ahead and smack them away from this one so the overtime can tick down. Mue going in, goes low, 10 HP, gets it all back from the recall, just firing off, trying to get that pulse bomb for himself so he can have that explosive finish here for the side of Hong Kong, but it's just not looking likely. It's a war of attrition back and forth between these two squads, and it's going to be Mix who gets popped out of the back first and foremost. Now Mango firing away from the sidelines, has the tac visor, doesn't come up with a kill, and that is just going to be the push in the end in overtime. Romania able to get the completion, and now it's a minute on the clock for both.
1 minute apiece. It was so important that Romania killed Hyper before he could use his Primal Rage. We saw actually how much he was able to do with that there when he did get it available, when he did respawn. He bought a ton of time, and it was Mue who got that pick with the stick there on the backsides, knocked MK out of the fight, but was so far away from the rest of the team. The Primal Rage being used a little bit late there for Hyper cost them big. They were so close after Romania blew a lot of ults, saw blood in the water, used their support ultimates there, thinking they could, even with the long runbacks on the respawns, finish that point. They failed to do so, and now we've got 1 minute apiece. HongKong, though, that kill onto Hyper, his late Primal Rage may have cost them. We're not done yet. May have cost them, though. Dorado here, is had he been able to pop it there, I think they would have been able to buy enough time there in overtime. We kind of reset. And on Escort, when it's 1 minute apiece, it gets real nitty-gritty because every single meter counts. Can full hold, sure, but you can't full hold the exact meterage, so how far you push it, even if you don't get that first checkpoint, which is pretty unlikely even for either team, it can be so important, even getting one extra pick or getting that extra boop to get just a few more meters. So it'll be HongKong on the attack first. They're going to be putting Jazzy on the Zenyatta again, which I think is so good against how Romania's been playing, with Meza being so aggressive, trying to shut down Mango. And it is going to be Rank again on the D.Va, MK on Soldier. Not going to be the Genji play from Romania.
Oh, already Kukubao going down. It's going to be a nice start to things here for the side of HongKong as Mue finds that kill. Going to be looking to build up for those EMPs as swiftly as possible, and that's one of the big things about this Sombra pick. High impact ultimate that can be built up very rapidly with only a minute on the clock. For now, Payload going to be moving unhindered. All of Romania cutting back into the market area to try to defend this final push.
Yeah, hanging around the fountain here. MK just trying to shut down anyone he can, but this push has already gone pretty far for HongKong. Finally, they get their first pick. It's on to Mango.
Made it through that underpass. Mango does go down, as you say. Jazzy under fire off screen. Will get taken out as Meza just leaps right onto him for the final kill. Wait, able to find Rank, knocks him out of the mech, but still is a ways away from this EMP. Is going to be needing this desperately. Throws the translocator up towards the gate, trying to get rid of that baby D.Va. Will be able to do so right at the end for the rest of his squad. Has been suffering. Mix and Hyper both taken out. He's going to fall, and it looks like that might just be it. The sprint through coming in, but Kukubao will be able to stop Mango. And 66.93 meters, just a little bit shy of point A. Is where HongKong end up.
A decent push, and you can see the idea there for Mue to try to shut down the remeching. The remech happens, and all hell breaks loose because you deal with the second D.Va, and they worked so hard to target her down, which is part of the reason why Romania was able to out-sustain there. So much DPS was put into that D.Va tank. So as we switch sides here, not a massive push that Romania has to go through here. But my big question is, will they be putting MK on the D.Va or on the Soldier? Do they want to try to make the Genji work? They don't have a lot of time to get the Dragon Blade, so I prefer their original setup here. It looks like they haven't quite decided yet. MK so far showing the Soldier. And will we be seeing that triple DPS is another question. That's one way they could try to approach this, to kind of try to stomp HongKong, get that wipe and shove it, because they know where they're at here. When you already have such a small meter, 66.93 here, you know you don't have to push that far. Perhaps if you get just one wipe at the right moment, you win it early with this small time pool. They were showing the triple DPS for a minute, but it looks like they're now deciding to go back with MK on the D.Va. And Mue is showing the Zarya. It's going to be a rare pick for him. They might try to fold this with, and they definitely are, because we're about to start in 10 seconds.
Yeah, they're going to
with the Reinhardt.
Whoa, okay.
Orisa.
What is happening? They need to get over towards that spawn.
Yeah, need to get there because they are having some really delayed decisions here. Pandaren will be on the Zenyatta, so Hyper sticking with the Reinhardt. This is going to be a surprise defense here. Romania is not going to be expecting this.
I mean, triple tank coming through here for the side of HongKong. Mue going to be poking around the corner. They now know that there is a Zarya as he goes ahead, fires off those right clicks. Obviously, we'll be able to cut through MK on that D.Va, even with the defense matrix, but this is an intriguing strategy. We saw the flash over the Mei for a second. This would have been, more of a Season 1 strat coming through had they gone ahead and completed that one.
Not a whole lot of mobility. Yeah, not a whole lot of mobility for HongKong. So Rank is actually just coming behind, getting the harass off here, going for the dash, is trying to disrupt here. They're so close.
Get onto the payload. Somebody has to tag this one if they're going to keep
no
this
one's there.
No one's going through it. HongKong, what are you doing?
The boop comes through. No one's there. They're so distracted. Genji in the backlines comes over. I don't even want to call this one a back cap. That was just no mobility on the side of Hong Kong. Nowhere near the payload, which is the crux of everything they were trying to do. Panicking perhaps even with their hero pool. Going into the triple tank at the last second. A composition we don't really see all too often anymore. They ran with it there, and this is just going to be the win going over to Romania as a result.
Okay, well, I am confused, but congratulations to Romania. They're able to go ahead, pick up the 2-2 versus Hong Kong. They put some points on the board for themselves.
This was not by any means a clean series.
No, it was not.
But I do have to give credit to Romania for seeing the weak point there, and the boop just comes in. Hong Kong wouldn't have been booped away. The boop wasn't the winning move if they were in position, but because they weren't, they panicked, tried to get in.
Yeah.
Late to even show up to the point with the triple tank. And I think it was just nerves suddenly coming in for Hong Kong.
I mean, the boop should have never been able to happen to get the Reinhardt away from the payload. Should have been with that, in front of it the entire time. But so much draw from the Genji wrapping around the backside. They just pay so much attention to Rank. They want to take him out. He goes over there. And then the payload just kind of goes straight into the station. They get the completion, they win the map. So congrats to Romania. Bit sloppy there from the side of Hong Kong. We still saw, while they were shaking hands, smiles on their faces. They know that they did something silly. They know that they lost the map in a bit of an odd way, but still very solid. But that's going to do it us here for the second match. So we're going to go ahead, throw over to a break. When we come back, I believe we will have the analyst desk there to break down the set.